You know that feeling when you're just kind of going through the motions, wishing you had a clearer plan, like a real blueprint for a life that actually feels full of meaning and purpose? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to build. We're going to use 10 timeless lessons as our guide to architect a life of incredible character. So let's dive in and see how we can start building, step by step.
Hello, I'm Tasnim Hassan, and I am so glad you're here. My whole mission is to explore the deep wisdom of the Quran and figure out, how we can actually apply it in our day-to-day lives. This isn't just me talking at you. This is a journey for all of us, as we work to become better versions of ourselves together.
So let's start with the biggest question of all, right? What is the actual foundation of a truly meaningful life? I mean, it's not money, it's not your job title, not even the things you accomplish. The real foundation, it's something way, way deeper. It's all about the intention, the why that you pour into the ground before a single brick is even laid.
And that brings us right into the first section of our blueprint, laying the foundation with intention. Think about it. Before any amazing building goes up, the architect has this crystal clear vision. The exact same thing is true for our character. And it all kicks off with our first two lessons.
Here they are, our first two foundational steps. Lesson 1 is to dedicate your legacy. Just like the wife of Imran dedicated her future child, Maryam, to divine service, we can dedicate our most important projects, our work, our creativity, even our children, to a purpose that's so much bigger than just us. And lesson 2, empower female leadership. I mean, the story of Maryam herself shows us the incredible spiritual strength and leadership that women bring to the table. A truly strong foundation for any society has to recognize and lift up these vital contributions.
So the huge takeaway here is that our blueprint has to start with a selfless intention and a really inclusive vision. When our purpose is clear and we empower everyone to build right there alongside us, that foundation becomes absolutely unbreakable.
Okay, foundation is set. Now let's move on to the next part, crafting your inner sanctuary. Once the foundation is solid, we have to turn inward. A strong character needs a solid personal core, right? A place of peace and connection. And this is where we find lessons 3 and 4.
Have you ever had this experience where help just appears from a completely unexpected place right when you needed it the most? Well, this leads us to lesson 3, rely on miraculous provision. When that unexpected help shows up, the practice is to just declare it with total certainty and gratitude. It is from Allah. That simple statement, it builds this incredible foundation of profound trust.
Now, what I find so fascinating here is this concept of a mihrab, or a sanctuary. Lesson 4 is to have one. And listen, this doesn't have to be some fancy prayer room. It can be a corner of your apartment, a walk in the park, or even just 5 minutes of quiet in your car before you go inside. It's any space where you can unplug from all the noise and genuinely reconnect with your purpose and your creator.
So let me just ask you, and I want you to really think about this for a second. Where is your sanctuary? What space, whether it's physical or just in your mind, helps you filter out all the distractions and find that focus again? Having this personal core is absolutely crucial for staying grounded.
All right, with a strong foundation and a grounded inner core, now we can look outward at how we engage with the world. Section 3 is all about the art of dialogue, framing how we connect with other people in a way that's meaningful and constructive. This is where we'll cover lessons 5, 6, and 7.
Our character really shows up in how we talk to people. This brings us to lesson 5. Always choose the path of sincere dialogue. I mean, look at this slide. We've all been on both paths, right? The stubborn argument path is all about ego, and it just creates division. But the sincere dialogue path, that's driven by truth, and it builds connection. The choice we make literally defines the entire outcome. So how do we actually walk that path of sincerity? Well, lesson 6 is to use rational logic. Don't just throw your points out there. Explain your ideas with simple, clear analogies that actually connect with people. And then, lesson 7 is to value sincerity way more than winning. If a discussion just turns into a stubborn fight, the best response isn't to yell louder, it's to fall back on your own integrity and character.
And that right there brings us to the core principle that holds up all good dialogue, our 8th lesson. Always remain an abd, a servant of God. It doesn't matter how much success you have or how much you know. True strength doesn't come from being a master over others. It comes from a humble desire to serve the truth and to serve them. That humility, it's the key to every genuine connection.
You know, that whole attitude of service, it naturally leads us right to our final section, a legacy of peace. This is where our well-built character opens its doors and starts to positively impact our family, our community, and the whole world through our last 2 lessons.
Our blueprint wraps up with these incredibly powerful actions. Lesson 9, protect your household. Be a proactive shield for your family against both spiritual harm and the chaos of the world. And Lesson 10, promote peace and respect for absolutely everyone. This means always looking for fair, peaceful solutions in arguments, not just trying to win. It means treating people of all faiths with dignity and fairness, just as the Prophet himself showed us.
Because here's the ultimate truth, right? The character you build isn't just for you. A well-built character becomes a source of safety, a beacon of peace, and a standard of respect for every single person in your orbit. It creates this powerful, beautiful ripple effect.
So, here we are. We've walked through our entire 10-point blueprint, from laying that first foundation of intention all the way to building a legacy of peace. And now, that blueprint is in your hands. You are the architect of your own life, of your own character.
Which brings us to the final and, honestly, the most important question. Looking at this entire blueprint, what's the very first brick that you're going to lay today? Is it dedicating a project to a higher purpose? Maybe it's choosing a sincere dialogue over an argument. What's your first actionable step?
If this blueprint has given you a valuable tool for your own journey, please share it so other people can start building too. Comment below with the first brick you plan to lay. I would genuinely love to read what your intentions are. And of course, like this content to help our community grow. Thank you so much for joining me today.